Notice of public meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session, workshop, and special meeting on Tuesday, January the 8th, 2008, at 4:25 p.m., 5:15 p.m., and 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Executive session item A, discussion pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code regarding real property. Executive session item C, we're excluding item A. Discussion pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding pending litigation styled Golden Spread versus City of Brownsville et al. Executive session item D, discussion pursuant to Section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code regarding economic developments. And executive session item A, discussion pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code regarding real property.
Mayor Pro Tem, I so move that we go into executive session.
Second.
Motion to move into executive by Commissioner Rick Longoria, second by Camarillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's go. Sorry.
Motion
Move.
passes.
Motion passes. Let's go.
Okay, please rise so we can have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one and indivisible.
Under God.
Reverend Chuck Sharrow will lead us in an invocation. Thank you for coming and honoring us.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and make decisions that will benefit the city. We ask that your wisdom, grace, and direction would be upon this meeting this evening. And we ask this all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Secretary, would you please read the call?
Call's been made.
We've read the call, Mayor.
Okay.
Did you want to start with the mayor's report, or did you want me to read the call again?
No, first, we have, you read the call already. I wasn't here, right?
Right,
Okay.
yes.
We have some workshops. Would the commission feel comfortable with tabling those workshops for the next meeting?
Are any of
Because
them
we're-
pertinent to any business we have?
Running
coming?
late?
One is,
Huh?
sorry, Mayor. I had offered to do a brief workshop on the issue of the eight-liners, but there's an action item. If you like, I could make the same presentation at that time.
Is there any, we still have 20 minutes before the meeting starts. So I guess,
No,
that's wrong?
6:30.
Oh, okay. It's wrong by an hour, okay. So, would anybody have a problem with tabling these?
I'd say the one with the eight-liners, if we do it together with the action item, that'd be fine.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's do that then. Before I go to the public comments, we'll do this workshop, then I'll go to the public comments. They don't want to talk, or they do? City Attorney, you gonna do the eight-liners?
If I understood you correctly, Mayor, we'll wait until the action item, and then I'll do the same presentation at that time.
Oh, then, okay. Well, then, okay, so then we're gonna table, can I have a motion to table?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to, if we could just continue the workshop on the city cemeteries projects, if Ms. Priscilla could go ahead and
Okay.
conduce it to 10 minutes.
10
Be
minutes?
fine, I think that's all
Okay.
she'd need.
Let's do that then, the city cemetery. 5 minutes?
Priscilla,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, workshop item A, discussion regarding the Brownsville Historical Association's update on the Old City Cemetery Museum and future plans.
Please. Hi.
I'm Larry Loff. I'm president of the Brownsville Historical Association. This is Priscilla Rodriguez, who's the executive director, and we'll talk real fast. The history of any community is often written in its cemetery, and certainly this is the case here. You can learn about wars, of battles, of epidemics, of pioneer families, of all kinds of items, and it really, walking through the cemetery tells you about the community and its history. And I'm also chairman of the Cameron County Historical Association, and one of the things they do every year is they send a report about all the cemeteries in the county. And when you look at the report on the Brownsville Cemetery, as all of us know that really enjoy the history that's there, is that it was described as being in poor condition. That was probably an understatement. It has taken a long time for the cemetery to get in the state that it's in, and it's going to take a while for a solution to slowly evolve. But I wanted to introduce Priscilla to tell you briefly about some of the things that are going on now to make that change begin.
Hello. The city manager had asked us to update the city commission on the status of the Historic City Cemetery project. So I want to say that we did submit the request to BCIC in October of 2006 for funding for the project. It was
Can
approved.
you put the mic a little closer? For some reason, I'm having a hard time hearing.
Funding was approved, and the project started in March 2007 with the installation of security cameras. They are currently installed, and we also have a motion-activated camera that we ordered, and it's also been installed. New lights and bulletproof shields were installed at the cemetery as well. The Old City Cemetery Center, the first of its kind in Texas, opened in October 2007. It's around this time that BHA received a Save Our History grant from the History Channel to partner with students from Hudson Elementary, and they've been working on a year-long cemetery preservation project. As part of the BCIC-funded project, there is $10,000 currently allocated for materials and supplies for a community project that would include beautification. The first of this money will be spent on supplies and materials so that a task force of community volunteers can re-erect a lot of the monuments that have been toppled. And the rest of the money will go to replanting grass in some of the areas where there isn't any grass, and also leveling some of the areas that require leveling as far as adding more dirt. And this Saturday, with the help of community volunteers, we're holding a fundraiser to raise money to fix some of the monuments. This will go into a separate fund that we hope will build up, and we can eventually apply to grants to match it, but we'd hope that once the fund is built up, that cities, Brownsville families can apply to us that need help restoring their families' monuments. We realize there are a lot of families that probably cannot, for whatever reason, fix their families' monuments, and so this fund will be there to help people fix their monuments. And so that's on Saturday evening, and we'd like to thank the City of Brownsville for all their support and also acknowledge the people that have been working on this fundraiser. Mr. Kabler's one of them, Luis Cavazos, Amanda Garza Clint, John Cowan, Ruben Edelstein, Carlos Garcia, Mike Garcia, Olga Gutierrez Gavito, Larry Holtzman, James McAllen, Miguel Ortiz, Carolyn Fernandez Parker, Tara Putnat, Vivica Chriselle Serafi, Alexander Stillman, Tencha Cisneros Tijerina, Sandra Sweeney Wilson, Enriqueta Barreda Izaguirre, Rosendo Escareño, and Beth Connor Pace. And we've received a lot of community support. Valley Baptist Medical Center has given money, as well as Ben's Liquor has donated, and a lot of businesses in the community have really stepped forward because a lot of people have someone buried at that cemetery. And so it's an important project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you very much.
If you look at the history and where cemeteries fit as far as their importance, probably the cemetery in New Orleans is the closest example of an important historic resource that's available here. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner. We're going to go to the Mayor's report, we'll table to next, we'll do it next time. Proclamations, Commander Lucio, you're here? Would you please
Commander.
come forward?
Please come up.
Come forward, Mr. Lucio.
Any of your family and friends here? Come on up, Commander. Before the commander comes up, I'd like to add, I believe this is a very special day for him. Happy birthday, Commander.
We're celebrating tonight. Congratulations. Proclamations, City Secretary, please.
Yes, sir. Read it, Commander. Mayor, I'm going to read it. Let me go down there and go in the house. Commander, this is a big honor for me to do this proclamation. I've known you for many, many years, and I've always known you to have answered the call of duty and to go above and beyond. Wait a second there while I read this proclamation. Proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing and congratulating Luis Lucio for his services to the veterans of foreign wars. Whereas Luis Lucio, District Number 18, Senior Vice Commander of Veterans of Foreign Wars, has exemplified strong commitment to helping veterans while dedicating himself to providing many services to some 3,000 members of 26 VFW posts from Laredo to Brownsville. This is so emotional for me because I love this guy, and I want to thank you for that. And also finding time to serve as a member of the Disabled American Veterans, the Vietnam Veterans Chapter 1, and is a life member of the VFW of the United States. And whereas Luis Lucio has served as commander of the local VFW post 2035 for 8 of the last 10 years and has been instrumental in activating various projects that recognize our veterans, including support for a local veterans hospital, providing canned food drives, supporting the Brownsville Veterans Memorial Park project, and in working diligently in planning the new VFW Center with community hall, office space, restaurant, and club, and in our city. And whereas Luis Lucio coordinates honor guards for welcome home ceremonies, honoring returning veterans from Afghanistan and Iraq, and frequently visits local high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools for flag-raising ceremonies and sponsors, teachers, and student scholarship programs. And whereas Luis Lucio serves as a VFW funeral detail director in Cameron County, including the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery in Mission, and continues to do an outstanding job in carrying out the honor detail by performing a ceremony that includes the folding and presentation of an American flag to the next of kin and the playing of taps for his fallen comrades who served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and the Persian Gulf. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby recognize and congratulate Luis Lucio, done on this 8th day of January 2008, signed by the mayor and this sitting commission. And it's such an honor, Commander, to give you this proclamation and for everything that you stand. And I wanted to continue to keep all our soldiers, both men and women, in our prayers. And thank you once again on my behalf and my family's behalf.
Honorable Mayor, honorable commissioners, I salute you all. For many years, I've been trying to do what my heart tells me to do, which is help veterans. And I've always done it without expecting this. I wasn't expecting it. I want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Cantu, who just walked in. He wrote the proclamation. Dr. Cantu just had an operation on his eye, and he just got back from McAllen. But anyway, I want to thank you, and I didn't expect the recognition, but it feels good to be recognized.
It was long deserved.
You deserve it, sir.
Semper Fi.
And I just want everybody here in this room to know that my job, our job, is not done. We need to continue to help veterans in need. So with that, I thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, happy birthday.
The Employee of the Month for January, the first month of the year, is Nayade I. Garza. Please help me welcome. Nayade works at the City Secretary's office, of course, and she's worked for the city since 1999. She has risen to the position of Vital Statistics Supervisor and Deputy Register. She's certified by the state. She is an excellent team player. Included among her duties and responsibilities is the training of vital statistics staff that get hired by the city, working with local agencies, hospitals, and funeral directors, and making sure all vital records are accurate and submitted on time. She serves as a head cashier and monitors all the collection of all receipts and occupancy taxes in the city. She participates in many city-sponsored events, and her work ethic is that of promoting the success of the department, the city, through her careful oversight of duties and excellent customer service. She gets a day off, the traditional cap. I'm sure she'll wear that to work. Pin. And Bill Young fell asleep, so we're gonna have to order her a plaque, but we got her Employee of the Month award.
Thank you.
And of course, she's eligible for the Employee of the Year at our banquet, which will be in December. Please help me welcome Nayade Garza.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I would like to thank Estela, my director, for this award and to giving me the opportunity to show my talent as a vital statistics supervisor. Also, I would like to thank my coworkers for helping me or helping our office achieve our 5-star award this year for the 2007 at the annual Texas Department of State Health Services Vital Statistics. And of course, not to forget my family, to thank them for their support. Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do.
Honorable Mayor and Commissioners, I just want to recognize Nayade personally. She's a very good vital stats supervisor. She was very instrumental in the office receiving that 5-star award, which is awarded annually to local registrars throughout the state, and not very many of them receive it. She stays on top of the work that needs to be done, the reports that need to be done in order to meet all the requirements that the state makes of us. So we're very happy to have her there, and we're hoping that she continues to stay with us. She's an excellent employee.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Not on the agenda.
A proclamation of the City of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing and congratulating Raymond Alexander on his memorable career in broadcasting. Whereas Ray Alexander, who led the Valley's premier award-winning television news organization, has retired after a career of more than 39 years in the broadcast industry And whereas Ray Alexander retires after 26 years as general manager of KRGV TV5 in Weslaco and 13 years at WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he held positions of program manager, production manager, and producer director. Both stations are owned by the Manship families in Louisiana. And whereas during Ray Alexander's tenure at KRGV TV5, the station has been a recognized leader in local news, receiving several regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, one national Edward R. Murrow Award, and the coveted Emmy Award. And whereas throughout his long and distinguished career, Alexander has been recognized and honored in many areas of broadcasting, including Broadcaster of the Year in 1998 by the Texas Association of Broadcasters, the American Advertising Federation Silver Medal Award recipient in 1996, Texas Association of Broadcasters Pioneer of the Year 2001, and was further honored by the Texas Association Broadcaster Education and Texas Broadcaster Education Foundation for his pioneering leadership and dedication to broadcast education for the state of Texas. And whereas Ray Alexander has made his presence known locally, serving on the boards of directors of the United Way of South Texas, Boys and Girls Club, National Hispanic Scholarship Fund, Community Council of the Rio Grande Valley Incorporated, and is currently serving as president of Greeters, McAllen Chamber of Commerce. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, and on behalf of all our citizens, do hereby recognize and congratulate Raymond Ray Alexander on his long and distinguished career in television broadcasting, done on this, the 11th day of January, signed by Mayor Pat Ahumada and commissioners.
Thank you. I have the privilege and honor to present it to him at a dinner on Thursday. Let's go to the public comments. Judge Martinez, you here? You're limited to 3 minutes. The commission cannot respond. We welcome you to our chambers.
Considering that Abraham Lincoln took a minute and 44 seconds to create the called the Gettysburg Address, I shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. Quisiera empezar a decirles, les deseo el mejor feliz año del siglo XXI, aunque no voten por mí, como quiera les deseo el mejor feliz año a ustedes, a sus familias y a sus niños. I come on behalf of very special people that are receiving, as I speak, assistance from the oldest clinic in the world, thanks to ex-Mayor Edelstein, the Brownsville Community City Clinic. And we're very grateful because you might not know this or not, but because of your support, we were able to qualify for lots and lots and lots, well, not as much as the war, but lots of money for the poor so the medical drugs could be reduced because they're pretty expensive. So we thank you, you honor us, we salute you. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Next, Dr. Joe Zavaleta, Jr.
Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners, Happy New Year to you. Feliz Año Nuevo. Friends and colleagues, I want to speak to you for 3 minutes, if it's possible, on war and peace. We are a world at war. Around the world we see civil wars, ethnic cleansings, refugees, cities and families being destroyed, even as I speak. In Brownsville, we may not have Sunnis and Shiites, but we have our own wars here. We make sport of wounding each other with our words. We hold grudges for decades. We judge each other with no reason. We are angry at each other. We envy and mistrust each other. We disrespect each other. Look to your left and to your right. He or she is not your enemy and not your adversary. Your enemies, my enemies, our enemies are racism, illiteracy, poverty, injustice, indifference, apathy, abuse, and the list could go on and on and on. Those are our enemies. Brownsville is facing serious issues that require collaboration based upon mutual respect, so that we can begin to address our issues as we approach the year 2020. But to solve our problems, we have to collaborate. And to really collaborate, we have to respect each other. And to respect each other, may I suggest, we have to reconcile with each other. I'm not talking about being best friends, but colleagues, all of us working together for raising the quality of life in Brownsville. So I have a minor, or major, or modest proposal. I'm proposing that on January the 21st, in less than 2 weeks, we celebrate that day as Martin Luther King Day. I believe it's a holiday, at least it is at the university. I would like to suggest that we take a time out for peace. That we think about the common good, that we think about the 40 or 50% of our population living below the poverty line, that we think about the horrific stories going on right now of abuse, hunger, and poverty in our city, that we set aside me and we focus on we. We have placed the future of our city in your hands. It's a sacred trust. We need for you, we desperately need for you to model collaboration, mutual respect, and to show us what good government is all about. I'm not naive, I just happen to believe in miracles. And I believe that anything is possible in this new year. What are the benefits of reconciliation? Well, to start off with, 50,000 kids in K through 12 will enjoy watching the City Commission at work, knowing that you are modeling good government and civic responsibility. Those are our future voters, our future taxpayers. We'll get increased engagement and support for commission actions. We will have increased trust by your constituents and future voters, and perhaps even increased investment from companies who are far away. I want peace to begin with me. I'm kind of ground zero tonight since it's my proposal. I speak on behalf of Ms. Rachel Benavides, who could not be here with me tonight. We're going to be doing a little bit of a campaign in the Herald about Martin Luther King Day as a day of reconciliation in Brownsville, calling up someone you normally wouldn't talk to, encouraging them, maybe taking someone out to coffee, extending your hands across the aisles to people you normally would not interact with, and knowing that united we stand and divided we will fall. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dear, what's the last name?
Dramberger?
Herberger? Please.
Werner Dramberger?
Warner Dramberger?
What would you? Okay. You're welcome to speak if you like. Okay. Okay. Mr. Fernando Reese? Charlie, can you preside for just a few minutes? Sir.
Where are you going, Mayor? I want you to hear what I got to say. Want me to wait for you? The system is broke.
We're here, sir.
Commissioners, Mayor, I have given you your vacations the past 3 months. I'm coming back to tell you what we need to do. We need to keep our campaign promises. We need to keep our campaign promises. I'm very disappointed on some of the commissioners, how they have conducted themselves and how they have addressed some of the issues that are of major importance to the citizens of this community. Mr. Mayor, there will be no weir. Mr. Mayor, we're not going to drag the resacas for $135 million. Mr. Mayor, the people of Brownsville do not want more debt. Let's get that straight. We're already over $1 billion. I have for the past 3 years addressed certain commissioners, and I'm still addressing them. I have not had an answer of where $340 million went from the PUB. You went to New York 3 years ago, and you had this reserve of $18 million. I am deducing that you had this reserve from monies of bonds that were issued to have a positive financial statement, to refund the debt, and get a 1% break on it.
because you had to buy an insurance for $1 million. You need to talk with the truth to the citizens of Brownsville. Sir, no more debt. No more debt. The system is broke. And now, whatever time I have left, I want to address the constituents, the persons out there that see me at HEB and here and everywhere and congratulate me for being here for them. Well, I want you to be here now for yourself, because I want to meet with you at the Veterans Park Saturday, 8 o'clock, because we have to form some committees that will hold this commission accountable. Because I come here as one person, you hear me, comes into one ear and it goes out the other. Now we have to have action now, because we are not protecting the public trust. I have seen it when I go to the PUB, when you all name bankers and attorneys to the board. Where do we have the persons from your district, from your constituents, to be there and speak for themselves and for their areas? Because the bankers will only protect the elite, sir. They're not concerned about the constituency at all. The rates will be relaxed for a while, and then what happens? There they come, sneaking up on you, sneaking up on you, sneaking up on you. You know, we're tired of this. And you, the people of Brownsville, I'm addressing you, the constituency. I will meet you at the Veterans Park Saturday, 8 o'clock. If you really care about Brownsville and if you want to do something about what we have to do to set this commission straight, and they have to listen to the government. We, the people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Reese.
Thank you, sir.
Next person is Mr. Resendez. Please, no discussion on the subject. Dr. Zabaleta, I need to talk to you before you leave. Would you just meet me around over here, please? Okay. Mr. Resendez, please. It's okay. Mr. Reese, please, with all due respect, let's have respect for each one another, okay? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next person.
Mayor.
Here. Thank you, Mr. Reese. Mr. Resendez.
Mayor.
Welcome.
Commissioners, amigos míos, vengo en paso again. Voy a ser como los chiefs de estos, de los indios que vienen con la flag or something like that. No, honest guys. Pero, hey, I love this guy. He's frank. I mean, that's his feelings, and I respect that. His feelings, I don't agree with him todos los feelings, ¿verdad? Porque I got my own. On the issues that he was talking about, I will back him up. Pero sucede una cosa que he estado pensando yo. I ran for county judge again, voy a show off, ¿verdad? I know I'm in television y todo, ¿me entiendes? Like you guys ran, and I get involved in politics. I've helped a lot of you guys, you know. I've helped county commissioners. I've helped desde DJ Lerma. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. When I ran for county judge, I told everybody down here de que cuando hicieron la presa Falcón, I used to use other languages, but the people up in the north area, they cut us down, and the river started squeezing muy poquito, ¿me entiendes? And all we were getting is cow pee, you know, lo de las cows y las maquiladoras. I agree with the mayor, with a lot of things that the mayor has said and is doing. Even though I did not vote for the mayor, I supported the other person. I did not know the mayor that well. But I'm finding out that que le dan mucha contra al pobre mayor. I support the mayor with the Veterans Hospital that he wants, the Veterans Hospital. On this weird, I don't know if you can call it a weird or not, mayor, but there's a possibility de que se hagan unos small lakes or something, because this is what's going to happen. In the future, con un small drought or algo, these guys are going to keep all the water over there. And we are not going to have any water. I'm talking about our kids, or maybe in a few more years. We're going to be out of water. I've been over there close to the river. I've been seeing the river, and all you got there is dirty pee, okay? Miados, in other words. And that's what we're drinking, because they pass them out, and they clean them, and they clean the water from your toilets, and they give them to you, and then they sell them aquí. This has been happening since Rey Ramon, way back. That's not a river. That's a pee hole. And these guys up there, ¿me entiendes? I'm talking about Lucio, I'm talking Oliveira, I'm talking about congressmen, I'm talking about President Bush, that he's going to go right now to see Iran and Iraq over there a pasearse and spend billions of dollars. There's billions of dollars weekly for that war. And they're sending carne de cañón, they're sending our people back in cajones. So the issue would be Brownsville, Texas. The people in Washington, they don't know we're here. Alex Resendez is telling everybody, even the people in Washington, recognize us, man, recognize us. Clinton, Lady Clinton, if you win, recognize us. We need water aquí en el river. Nos vamos a morir de sed un día de estos. May the Lord bless you all.
Thank
Okay?
you, Mr.
Thank you.
Resendez. Mary Elizabeth Hall, I believe?
Holman.
Holman? I don't have my glasses, I apologize. I've lost 2 pairs in a week.
Hello, I'm Mary Elizabeth Holman. Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, for letting me talk. I'm here to talk about recycling for our city. I know it's good for our city. It keeps our landfill from being filled with extra garbage. It encourages everyone to take care of our earth. I'm really glad the city has a recycling center, and I really wish we had curbside recycling. I know that needs to come. We need to educate our population. I'm a member of St. Joseph's Church, and I'm accompanied with members from St. Eugene. Y'all want to say hi? And we've been working with Marta Martinez with ESD with recycling. She brings a container to our parishes, and we have one of the areas in Brownsville that is the mainly Hispanic, Spanish-speaking area, filling those containers every week. She's interested in taking over the city's recycling center and using this as a training ground to teach our community about the importance of recycling. So I'd really hope that you would consider looking at our recycling, doing something to encourage the citizens in Brownsville to recycle like other cities do, so that we can do something to take care of our earth. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Ms. Holman.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Javier Gonzalez? Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Javier Gonzalez? Welcome.
Good evening, City Mayor. Good evening, City Commissioners. I've had some tough acts here to follow tonight, but I would come over here. Mine's very short and sweet. First of all, my name's Javier Gonzalez. I'm a candidate for the 444 District Court here in Cameron County. I wanted to be the first
And
one.
let me point out, although you already did it, it's not allowed to campaign.
And I apologize. But I wanted to, as a citizen of Brownsville also, is to wish you all a Happy New Year. I'd also ask that you all, I wish you the best of luck with city business before you all. I'd ask that you all find it in your hearts to work together as a group, as a city commission group, to address the issues that are coming before our city commission. I was born and raised here. I think it's very important that you all can agree to disagree, but at the same time move the city forward. I think it's very important that you all do that. The other issue too, I think too, is that you all should allow each other, this is my own opinion, is allow each other to make your points of view made before city meetings. Allow each other to speak, the courtesy of each other, not to be cut off from each other. I think it's very important because sometimes a city commissioner may look at somebody else's point of view and say, you know, we may have to look again at his views and say, you know what, maybe I need to change them, or maybe I need to find a middle ground. I would ask that you all take seriously your all's position here and the city's business that comes before you all. Lastly, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners, I want to thank you all for taking up the action items number 15 and 16. 15 is the moratorium on bank foreclosures. And then 16, which is equally important, I was really glad for the proclamation that you had for Mr. Lucio. I think it's very important for our veterans. But 16 talks on a resolution that you all should be supporting for a veterans hospital down here in the Valley and in Brownsville. I think it's very important. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Gonzalez. And just for future notice, Mr. Gonzalez, everybody's welcome here, but it's not, the rules govern us here that we don't allow campaign
And I apologize that my introduction was that way, Mr. Mayor. I mean, what I intended to do was.
Or campaign paraphernalia.
What I wanted to impart with you all is basically goodwill with each other.
I understand. I understand.
Each other.
We understand.
Good luck,
We
okay?
appreciate it. Thank you. And give my
Thank
best to
you.
you, Dad.
Good luck.
Okay. Okay, so
I'll go to consent agenda items.
let's go to the consent agenda items.
Consent agenda
5.
items A through H.
So moved to approve?
We have a motion by Commissioner Longoria and second by Commissioner Camarillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 6, public hearing and action on first reading of protested ordinance number 2007-051-S to allow a professional office-specific use daycare in a dwelling use on 0.59 acres out of Share 12 Espiritu Santo Grant, Volume 370, page 181 and 182, located at 3125 West Alton Glore and near Tandy Road.
Honorable Mayor, City Commission, this is the property shaded in red here, Alton Glore, and you have Tandy Road coming in through here. As you can see, the property fronts on Alton Glore, but it's got a little sliver, or a little place for a driveway that connects to Tandy. This is a specific use application. It's protested. That means to approve this application, we would need 6 positive votes. In this particular case, went before Planning and Zoning Commission. The applicant in this case wants to have a daycare center. They did submit a site plan and a narrative that goes along with the site plan, discussing hours of operation, et cetera. Also, the Planning and Zoning Commission, which I put on your desk, it wasn't in your packet, but the conditions that were also approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and there's 12. And in this particular case, the 12, let me quickly read them, is 1, the building to be single-story with slope roof and design, including colors, to blend well into the residential neighborhood. Single entrance to parking lot. A 6-high masonry privacy fence along the entire length of the north property line. Additional landscaping barriers to be provided where property abuts residential property lines. Landscaping and trees to be provided at the front of the site in order to minimize the view of the parked cars from the street. Parking lot lights to be a maximum of 12 feet to 14 feet in height and to be baffled to direct light inward only. Building light fixtures at the rear and side elevations shine downward only, no mercury vapor lights. All electrical service utility lines to be underground, signage to be low profile and discreetly lit, no neon or flashing lights, no garnished colors or vulgar imagery. Noise levels must be maintained as per residential neighborhood requirements during the construction and operation of all businesses. Construction activities will not take place during the late work hours or weekends or holidays. Businesses are to be limited to professional offices only. There will be no retail, restaurant, or liquor sales or consumption. Operating hours for businesses to be limited to daytime only with no businesses open on Sundays. So this is what was presented by the applicant and was submitted to the Planning and Zoning Commission, which was part of the application.
Y'all approved it?
Yes. And
Is
it
there
has
any
been
opposition
presented-
to this?
Yes,
There
there's a
is.
lot of opposition to it. This is a public hearing.
All right. Come
Ben, I have
forward.
one quick question. Did P&Z or did our traffic department directors, Mr. Esparza, ever communicate, or did they ever ask him about what he thought? Because I think the question is the road, access to the road, the business, that's not the issue, but the specific issue here is the road. Was Mr. Esparza ever involved in saying, hey, look, consider an action on this road? What do you think?
I had
Is it-
discussions with Mr. Esparza.
It's right there.
He's here, and his concerns is that Tandy Road, it is a ruled cross-section. Maximum width is 24 feet at best.
But P&Z didn't hear from him, correct?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Mr. Esparza,
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Good evening. Yes, Commissioner.
I guess my question was, as Director of Traffic, what are your thoughts on the possibility of putting this road in between these two residential properties?
Well, the road was designed a long time ago. That road was never meant to really meet a lot of traffic flow. The Tandy Road was in about 23 to 24 feet max in some areas. Adding more traffic than the neighborhood, the way the road's designed at Lakeway into Tandy Road, it's more like a V shape, so it's not that good. We had to put more speed bumps there because there was, cars were going out of the road. There's no curb, there's no gutter, very little lighting. And it's not really designed for heavy traffic. And as far as my knowledge, I don't know when there'll be any improvements in that road.
Correct.
But adding more traffic to that road, just separate with the neighborhood, is not really recommended.
How far is it from, excuse me,
Go ahead.
how far is it from Alton Glover? I mean, half a block?
No, it's more than that.
Just a little, a
It's-
block
well,
and a half?
I don't have exactly counts with me right now, but it's more than a block.
It's not gonna be through traffic, right? It's just gonna drop off the kids,
Well,
children?
you're adding, in the future perhaps, maybe they'll, if they ever sell the place or create more business area, you will add more traffic to that road.
What would that road be used to? Would that road be used to, for people to commute through it, or is it gonna be used strictly for this business?
They use it for business or commuting. Sometimes they have it one-way traffic. It doesn't usually work. Signage says do not enter, and they will enter it, and they will not listen to the signage.
Do you recommend the street?
Applicants here,
Sir,
Do you
Commissioner?
recommend the street?
I'm not here to recommend or disrecommend. I'm here to say, that the way the Department of Traffic says that, and the study we made and looked at it very closely, is the less traffic on that road, the better it is. It isn't wise to add more traffic, business traffic to that road due to the width and the way design is that. It isn't a very good design.
Ben, what's gonna be the business hours of this? What would they be, or you want us to come up, Ms., you wanna come up and speak?
Sure.
Ms. Perales?
Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Natalie Perales, and I am the applicant of this daycare. I'd like to inform you that in the P&Z meeting, as you were briefly mentioned, the issue here is the road. And again, we came to an agreement where we would have a gate. That was a recommendation, and I agreed to that. We would have a gate which would be closed after hours. So their concern was that that road was gonna be used to cross to Alton Glory and through Tandy and cause traffic. That was solved. We agreed to having a gate and to be closed after hours. Also recommended a speed bump there in the area, in that little street. We are in agreement to that as well, as the applicant and the owner,
And that's at your expense?
and that's at my expense.
And what would be the business hours?
The business hours from 6:30 in the morning to 6 p.m. So again, also, the plan is to have a van and pick up the children from our community. That, again, is alleviating traffic. I don't see why, they are complaining about a daycare that would house about 60 children when there's schools down the road that has a lot of traffic. My daycare will not create traffic because we will have a van, and like I said, especially that little road that they're complaining about is not gonna be a road. We're gonna have it open for the vans, of course, and if a few parents from the area, but we're planning to close that gate at 6. What traffic is it gonna generate after that? And it's not gonna be used.
Excuse me, Robert, is this going to be a public road? No, is that going to be a public road?
That's a driveway. That's a
It's going to be
driveway.
a driveway, so it's not a public
It would
road.
be
No, not public
it would
road.
be on her property.
It's a driveway. The part of the property, the driveway will come out into Tandy Road.
It's an odd-shaped lot. They have, this lot here has this little sliver that connects to Tandy.
And that's the way it was sold to you?
Exactly.
So
So
you-
it's part of the
people are using
property,
that.
What's your recommendation, Ben?
Zoning Commission unanimously voted to approve it.
To approve?
With the gate,
Okay.
To be closed after hours. when they
Well,
close
not
the
only after hours, Mr. Medina, but what about?
This
excuse me,
is a public hearing. Is there anybody against this? Okay, can we hear from them?
Mr. Mayor, may I say something before? What about closing the gate after you start classes, 8 o'clock? Just close the gate during the day, if that's the issue.
If that's the issue and if something you're recommending to final this, I would agree with you. But also, we need to be a little bit considerate about the services that are offered from 6:30 to 6. If we have a parent, maybe from, from Lakeway, from that area, from the neighborhood, who's gonna come up, pick up a child at 4 or not, he's gonna have to call in to open that gate. I mean, which, that could be done, but like I'm saying, we need to also be
Electronic.
considerable to the parents and to the public that we're gonna be offering these services. As it is, we're complying in putting a gate and closing it after hours. I think that's being more realistic than them wanting me to shut that driveway. It's not a road.
Ms. Vidal-
Also, be more realistic, because there's a gentleman here also that has a plan and presented that to Planning and Zoning Committee of how I should build my daycare. He has a design. That's just unrealistic.
Who's
Then-
this?
There's someone here in the public.
Who is
that-
it?
Mr. Ruiz.
Ms. Perales, you and I spoke about a day ago, and my initial concern was, one, knowing the area, because that's my district.
Sure.
I went out there, met with Ms. Tara Martinez and Ms. Cristina Rodriguez, I believe, or Cristina, sorry about that. I parked along, which would be the ditch in front of her property, because she only had a parking space and her car was there. So I parked along the road. So logically, if I think, I parked here, who's not to say so-and-so needs to park on the side of the road, yet here we have this driveway access. My only concern would be that there might be a fender bender, and that's unforeseeable in anywhere you go, or any business or any establishment. Nonetheless, though, it could be preventative. And thinking about it, you can have cars that, even if it was just an exit only, cars gonna come out, and let's just say cautious drivers like yourself and myself,
Parents, cautious drivers.
just barely going by, just make sure there's no cars coming that would have a direct impact on us. I think it could cause some potential issues. That's really my main concern, that, one, it's Tandy Road. There's no drainage, it's just a road, it has a ditch, and the fact that it could cause a lot of issues. And the people that live in Lakeway or around that area, obviously I don't think they'll be walking to the daycare, they're gonna drive. So wherever they're at, if that driveway is only an exit, they still can't use that driveway. They have to go around onto Alton Glory in order to get in there. So from my perspective, I see it as a safety issue. Nonetheless, the business, again, it's no issue with the business. I hope you're very successful, and I think you will be. But that driveway, to me, it just didn't seem right.
Let me ask a question. You said something, I'm sorry. You stated who did the signs for you? And why isn't he not?
I have my own, but what I'm saying is that in Planning and Zoning Committee, the people that are gonna be asked to comment right now, which they're already here from Lakeway, they even had a plan that wanted to present or recommend for me to use as my building. And that's very unfair. So I think we have
How
people
did
here.
how did they acquire this plan for you?
I didn't even want to see it, and I didn't get a chance to see it because
They
I
made a
was,
plan for you?
yes, designed the building, how I should have the
You have a
design of
copy
my
of that?
building. No, I sure don't.
Okay, I think,
That's unrealistic, of them wanting to do this. This is a daycare.
Okay.
It's not a school, or it's not a
I
grocery
think the
store.
planning and zoning recommended in favor, and you're here voicing, the request that you wanted approved.
Yes.
And we heard from the traffic department. Let's hear from those that oppose it, okay? See if what they have to say.
Okay, and I hope you consider that I've banned myself as far as having this gate. I understand, Commissioner Camarillo, what you indicated about hazardous, but once again, this is not a road, so I don't see parents speeding out of there. That's why we already have the speed bump, which I'm gonna be putting in place. One, again, there's the gate. I think these are parents that have children and are gonna be more cautious and not speed out without stopping if they use that exit. They might not, because we're gonna close it after hours. So please be considerable about that.
So they've,
This is a public hearing. Let's hear from those who have some,
Thank you for your time.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Reese,
Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Roberto Ruiz.
let's give the gentleman the attention, please.
I'd like to just clarify some points that the lady alluded to. First of all, I don't think that many of the audience here that are here are opposing the daycare center. The only thing that we're here, and this is the consensus that I feel, and this is why I would like to present to you what the background is of why we want to oppose, not the daycare, but the access to Tandy Road. If you look at this photograph, aerial photograph, you'll find, can I see your pointer, please? Okay. You have Alton Glory Boulevard on this side, you have Tandy Road right here, and the daycare center that is being proposed is going to go on this land right here facing Alton Glory Boulevard. It happens that this land has a 28-foot, 9-inch driveway or access back to Tandy Road. That's the way it was subdivided or done. The lady, when I guess purchased this land, knew that there was access back over here. Her main concern or main design is facing the Alton Glory Boulevard. What we are in opposition is basically that the traffic amount of vehicles that are already on Tandy Road is going to create more of a concern to the surrounding neighborhood. The way the PNC has voted on this, they approved it with certain restrictions, and in addition, Ben, the other thing that PNC committed to doing, if they're allowed to do this driveway, was to put a gate and 2 speed humps. Is that not right? Okay. But again, our position is to have you all, and this is a super protest vote, by the way. In other words, we're in opposition to the decision that PNC has taken. We want to make sure.
Let me ask you, what's the capacity of the daycare?
65 kids.
And you'll be busing some through minivans and some, okay.
You know, mind you, Tandy Road is, you've been there, we would ask you to go by there. It's a very narrow road. A school bus goes by there. You have to literally move out of the way. There happens to be a tree right there that is really projected onto the street, and it's even more of a concern to people coming out, as Commissioner Camarillo alluded to. Can we go to the next one, please?
Mr. Reese, let me ask you a question just real quick.
Yes, sir.
Well, last time something was opposed in this area, I guess y'all have a little group, right? Was it?
No, there's no little group. You know, these are neighborhood people that have concerns. We have folks here that are 60, 70, and 80 years
That's
old,
fine.
and 90 years old that happen to live in the neighborhood.
Let me
But we
ask
don't
you
have a
something.
group.
Last time, when an issue came up, some of the same things she's saying happened back then, with designs that were offered to her.
No,
Now,
sir.
you calling her a liar? Or?
I'm not calling her a liar.
No,
I think
let's not,
the
wait,
thing
wait,
is-
wait.
and don't-
Let's not get
please
into that.
Don't
Let's not-
let me, I want to stop you
Mr.
right
Reese,
there,
Mr.
sir.
Reese.
I want to stop him.
No, what are you
I
saying?
want to just know where this is coming
Best
from.
way
all
is
the time.
don't respond, don't respond. Let's just stick to the
this is
subject matter.
ridiculous.
Mayor, he has a right to protect
But
himself.
there's no point in calling
This
people
is
liars,
terrible.
Commissioner.
I'm not saying he's a liar.
Well,
I'm
well,
not saying-
you-
I'm not calling
I'm
anybody.
asking if she
This is-
thinks.
See, I mean, we're losing
here for that.
focus on the subject matter here.
Exactly.
Let's keep the personalities out of this and focus on the issue,
Yes.
please. Mr. Reese, please go forward. Please go
Well,
forward. You'll get your turn. You'll get your turn, madam. Please.
This photograph is, area photograph is taken from the Alton Glory Boulevard. You can see again the land that's in here and the driveway back here that's in question. Please go to the next one. This is a photograph taken from the street side. Again, this is the Alton Glory Boulevard side, and this is a 24-foot wide area where she intends to put this driveway. Go to the next one, please. This is a little plan that shows the location and number of residences surrounding this place of business. And again, we're not opposing the business. We're not opposing the business. I think the majority of the people that live in the neighborhood have agreed to go to a special condition, special use of classification with the conditions that Mr. Benita read to us.
Mr. Reese, let me ask you, putting that gate, that doesn't, y'all don't want to agree to that, or?
You know, one of the
I mean,
things
I think
that-
what she was saying was she was going to use it like for
Why
her
can't they
van.
exit in the front, through Alton Glory?
That's our
I don't
point.
understand that. Why is this an issue?
Now, let me
her
ask this, and I've.
No, but I mean, but don't you have enough space there to go in and go out? Don't you have enough space to do that? I mean, there's a lot of properties there that have only one or two entrances facing Alton Glory. I mean, why is that an issue?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the design that she's come up with, and I don't
Is
have
it
a
because she
design.
just owns that easement that she says she wants to use it?
It's her property.
It's her property. And she can do
Yeah,
whatever
it
she
may be
wants.
her property, but I mean, how is it gonna affect the rest of the neighborhood?
That's our point.
No, man.
That's not right.
That's not,
I
that's not
mean,
right,
I think
Mayor.
that's a concern, and that's a legitimate concern, okay?
And I think she's
We're
trying
here
to
to,
work
we're
with
here
them.
to decide on that.
Trying to work with
Go
the
ahead.
neighborhood.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Christie.
Go ahead.
Well, again.
Go ahead, Mr. Reese.
I'm just only bringing up the background. From here on out, I'm thinking you're going to hear from people that are in the opposition as to why they're in opposition. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, Madam, you wanted to speak?
Christie.
Please come forward.
Good evening, my name is Cristina Hokama, and I live on Tandy Road. I'm a property owner of Almaraz 2 and 3, which is it's Mr. Perez and then myself living where that little road is. We're not opposing the daycare, we're just opposing the driveway that they want to utilize to come in and out, okay? We have no drainage, it's a safety hazard. No, really in the mornings, at 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, we cannot exit to Alton Glory. We usually go around to come out through the expressway. Okay, those are the issues. Also, most of the people there are retired. People have their mailboxes across the street. We have signatures. I don't know if they provided you with a copy. This is, we were only missing one signature that we couldn't find, and that was in Briarbrick. But everybody on Tandy Road were opposed to it. Okay, we're not opposing the daycare, just that drive, which they call it a drive way. It's not a drive. It's gonna end up being a street. They go home, we stay there, we live there. That it floods when it rains. It's, people walk around there. I jog around there. There's no sidewalks, no curbs. It's narrow. What else? I mean, and why do we have to have a business traffic going from a business into a residential? Okay?
Okay, I'm just one vote here, and I agree with you because Tandy Road is not commercial, okay? And we're converted it into commercial use by allowing this driveway. If it's possible to have ingress and egress from Alton Glore to make this daycare viable, you're not opposing it.
We're not opposing the daycare. I think if it can go, traffic can go in and out through Alton.
And can that easement be used for some benefit to the daycare, like a playground or something other than just dead land? Can it be, Ben, can it be used for something else?
Mayor, and I think the plans that she was saying that they showed her, she mentioned that.
Let me ask a question real quick. if you don't
Let him
mind.
answer. Would you mind letting him answer
To
the
the mayor
question?
real quickly.
Pardon me?
Mayor, let me answer you. Basically, just green space. I mean, just green space.
Green space,
Basically with.
But it can be used for something else, as long as you don't build on it, because you would not meet the setback requirements. Okay.
Let me
thank
ask a
you.
question.
If you want to ask a question, who?
To this lady over here.
Which lady?
Let me ask you something. If you were to close down that driveway, would all the parking and everybody have to be on Alton Glore? If the driveway was, if you did away with the driveway, would all the traffic be congested on Alton Glore?
Yes, it would, but then again, they are saying about a lot of traffic. Like I said, the hours of operation were discussed. Also, occupancy no more than 60 children. What more traffic do they already have with those two schools? Where were they when these two schools were built there, the Stillman and the Iturria and the other one? So they're complaining about such a small daycare. And again, they keep reiterating the traffic to Tandy. Hello, we're gonna close the gate after 6. Stop thinking it's gonna be used as a street. It's not gonna be a street or a driveway. How can they access that road if it's gonna have a gate?
I understand.
I want to help you. I personally want to help you, okay? But I just don't think you're seeing it from their perspective that, please allow me. They bought into that neighborhood. That's a quiet road, okay? It's not a commercial. you are turning it into commercial use by putting that driveway. Because if it was a residence, okay, it'd be 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars at the most. You're now gonna put more traffic on there that is not planned for, okay, as originally was developed. Now, the other thing is, my concern is, and I want you to succeed, is what's the big issue of you having ingress and egress from Alton Glory? I mean, what's the issue with that? I mean, is it something that you can't do, or something that you just don't want to do?
It's something that I think they should meet me halfway to, because it's not gonna be used as a street. I've already met them halfway, and we've agreed to having a gate. 1, 2, let's be considerate, and this is the way my property is. Again, if they had a property design like this, I think they would be up here too. And number 3, again, why should I be now responsible or be accounted for because it's residential and now it's commercial? Doesn't that happen in all the city of Bronzeville? Can we understand that it's growing? And it's bound to happen that you buy a property that's residential and eventually it becomes commercial? I mean,
But we
like
also
I
have to
said-
take into account the impact, because it was not commercial, you got it rezoned, okay?
The building is
That
commercial.
is commercial.
That is commercial.
It's
The
been
building is
commercial.
commercial.
Can you expand the building? Can you make it, can she later on, add to the building and add more capacity?
Can do whatever she
Ben?
wants, her property.
Huh? She could?
She's limited to size, the lot's not that big. I think she's
Okay,
building
so
the most
she could not expand.
She's
Ms.
got
Perales,
26 feet there.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, at what section is the outdoor play area? What section of the property is the outdoor play?
The green area on that side that you see on the orange building?
Yes.
The green one, I'm sorry, that green
The outdoor area is the little
right
sign?
there, yes,
Okay, that's the outdoor.
yes.
And
And the
that's-
speed bumps would be about there, so we're not gonna have parents speeding through there, and we're gonna have the gate about that, in that area.
Mainly just drop off and pick up.
So you're basically on a corner. You're not real deep in the residential
No,
area.
look
You're
at
right
that,
there on a corner.
Right there. So it's like, that's why I keep enforcing, it's not a road. And it's not a road, you know, specifically, again, it would be used for the daycare. We would have the van also exit there to pick up the kids. And I've already accommodated to where it's gonna be closed after hours. Nobody's gonna be able to access to come there and use it as a road to come out to Alton Glory.
Want to be able to get on your property.
Ms. Okama? And this is just maybe something personal. Are you and Mr. Perez good neighbors? Where you all communicate with each other? When you all purchased your properties, were you all aware that there was this 26-foot gap between your properties?
No.
No?
No, actually, I think the story on it, it would be Ms. Rodriguez that knows about it. And I don't know if she would like to come up and explain what happened, how this ended up like that. But I have another
She's got this
question.
property, what is she gonna do with that piece of land?
I mean, because there's all of a sudden, there's 26 feet between your house
You know.
and the Perez's house, and how did that happen?
She
You
would
know.
be able to explain to you what.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Rodriguez, and I live on one side of the street. Mr. Perez lives on the other side. The link fences are there. All that property on Tandy Road belonged to my uncle. Okay, where we live, that's all they gave us. We didn't get the back because of greediness, you know? So, my aunt is my neighbor. She has part of that. The land that the lady bought, my uncle had always said before he died, that little way, that little road would be if somebody would make a residential, you know, a home. That would be like a driveway for them. That's it, or an emergency. But that's the only reason he left it. He left that gap there because we did not have Alton Glory, because those were all cotton fields. We all worked all that land, okay? This young lady that bought the land,
Ms. Perales?
yes, her mom came by since last year trying to buy us out. Why? She told me that she had a permit to make duplexes, complexes, whatever. That legally she could do what she wanted. And she was soft-talking me, you know, telling me that she would do this and this and this. And then we all had a meeting. Because that road is not meant to be a road because of the traffic. There's buses coming from both ends. My granddaughter goes in the bus stops right in front of that strip. My aunt is 81. She almost got hurt by walking because the car wouldn't let her I mean, she had to go into the ditch. She's 81. My dad almost got hit by a car. The buses stopped right in front of that strip. And there's buses coming all at once. There's cars coming. My husband and I were walking. We almost got hit by a car. My dad also. My mom, she cannot go check the mail because the car will run over her. There's 2 pine trees. There's a pine tree here. There's a tree here on the other side. My husband, when he's trying to get out of the garage, he has to look to see if there's any traffic. There's traffic. He has to go right back into the garage. It's hazardous. And then my mom has gas, okay? She has her gas meter on the left. She's got her gas heater, water heater, right by the house. She has her gas stove by the kitchen, by the strip. If anybody would, drive and it's raining or it's foggy or whatever, and if somebody goes into that fence and comes into our house, there's gonna have a big explosion.
Okay.
My aunt, my next door neighbor had a gas explosion, and her little girl died, and her husband died.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, we have a lot of people to hear from, so we appreciate your input and clarifying how that came
But
about.
it's very dangerous, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Comment on the parking, I'm not sure how many employees she is gonna have, but looking at the plan, there's not many parking space. I know, and 100% I believe, okay, that if that road gets to, you approve that road, where are her employees gonna park?
You submitted on the plan, Ms. Perales, that you have 4 employees?
Planning and zoning committee, I have enough parking space first down, and as what is required, I have even about 2 extra ones there.
thank you. Okay. Can we hear from the next lady, please? Because we have other things to cover the agenda, so if you could limit your comments as briefly as you can, it would be appreciated.
My name is Tamara Martinez, and my name is Tamara Martinez. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And I live on Tandy Road. Our concern is really for the traffic out of that little area there. It's a very short distance. Tandy Road is like an L. When you turn off of Alton Glore, there's a little short piece, and you hit a canal, and you turn back toward the expressway. And that's in that little L where that road is going to be. And when if you try to get out of there, you can't see until you have to be like the Mexican people say, el golpe avisa, because you cannot tell if some car is coming to you. You've got your nose out there on the road when you come out of that driveway.
Okay, thank you.
We are mostly concerned about traffic. We don't care if she has daycare. We just hope that she could use Alton Glore,
Thank you.
because it's very dangerous right there.
Thank you.
And my church has a daycare, and we have a lot of people coming all day long at all hours, but mostly they come at the time everybody is going to work and at the time everybody's getting off to work. And if you have a van to pick up children, what time of the day will you start picking them up? At 5 a.m.? Because you can't pick them all up right before school starts, because parents have to leave to go to work and take their other children somewhere. So it's going to be traffic all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Brown, Mayor and Commissioners, my name is Don Beck. Your overhead's not working, but if I could approach you, I have a series of pictures that,
I thought he was Alfredo Gavito.
Yeah.
Ben, this does require a 6.
Okay.
6 possible votes.
It's very narrow.
this is looking back towards Tandy. You can see, and this is the house on the left-hand side. It's pretty close to the fence to the property.
Okay. This is the house on the right side? This is a narrow road? Yes, narrow road. It's a narrow road.
This is looking down Tandy Road.
I'm trying to get business right. I'm just, I don't like the fact that put the mayor on the corner. Scott needs to wait for you.
Those are very good points. Thank you. Okay. 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 Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Ms. Perales, is there any way you can reconsider that driveway and make it entrance and exit off Alton Glory to get it done, or is that the only way you can do it?
Commissioner, is there any way they could consider also the neighbors and the community understand that I did bend myself and I am accommodating also by putting the gate, and it will not be used as a road? That's their concern, that it's going to be used as a road. How could it be used as a road when it's going to be closed? Can they also have a little bit of consideration
So
on
the
that
answer,
too?
the answer is
The answer is
no.
no, though.
The answer is no. Okay. Miss,
Majority of the
next
traffic, Mayor,
one.
I think the concern is the issue of in the morning, everybody going to work, everybody going to school. That's going to be the peak
Yeah,
opportunity.
we understand
when
that.
all that's the
Let's hear from the, those who want to be heard real quickly, please. The time's clicking away. Please come forward. Mrs. Miller.
Good afternoon. Everybody knows me already. All I just want to say that we do respect the lady that is being a small business owner, and I respect being that, you know, honestly, I'm a feminist too. But what I'm trying to say here is just that I live in Lakeway subdivision, and it's kind of like a very narrow dirt road. My kids go through there, I exit through there. 10 minutes before 7, I'm right there with one kid at Iturria, one kid at Stillman, the other one at Faith Christian Academy, the other one at First Baptist, and make it to work by 10 minutes till 8. And it is narrow because they pick up some handicapped kids right there in the exit of Tandy, and where the mailboxes are, and if you're familiar with the area. So I do understand, I want Brownsville to progress. We're not against the daycare, but it's just that exit gate that is going to be commercial and forced into us, please, if there's any other way that we can work out things, I really and truly appreciate it, but not the exit on that dirt road. I beg of you to reconsider this.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you
Miller.
very
Thank you.
much.
God bless you.
She's
Thank you.
trying to
Okay.
work with you all.
Mr. Falk, please. You seem kind of reluctant. Is there a reason? No. We don't bite. Welcome.
My name is William A. Falk, Jr. I'm a resident of the city of Brownsville, and I live down, farther down out in Glore, but I have a vested interest in this issue since my brother, or my concuño, and my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law live in this area. I want to keep this very, very simple, and I think with all the heat that is generated by this issue, we have issues about bettering Brownsville and bringing in business and helping all the people that want to put their kids in daycare. But we lose sight of the fact that the purpose of the zoning ordinance, which is set out in your ordinance, provides that the zoning regulations and districts as established in this chapter, which is the ordinance, have been made in accordance with a comprehensive plan for the purpose of promoting the health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the city. They have been designed to, the first one on the list, lessen congestion in the streets, secure safety from fire, panic, and other dangers, provide adequate light and air, prevent the overcrowding of land, avoid undue concentration of population, facilitate the adequate provision of transportation, water, sewage, schools, parks, and other public requirements, protect and preserve places and areas of historical, cultural, and architectural importance and significance. Honorable gentlemen, I submit to you that this plan that's been proposed is in contradiction to what the purpose of this ordinance is. And I think to grant the application would be to go completely contrary to what's in the ordinance. Now, that's the way I read it. The other thing I would point out to you that is also in the ordinance with respect to specific use applications. I want to take issue with the commission in that this is not an up or down vote. The city commission, as provided for in the ordinance, is allowed to place any restrictions in the course of this meeting. You can make a decision that that application be amended to have specific provisions, one of which would be you can't use your driveway.
Oh, driveway.
Exactly. So I think the commission has the authority to make that change. I don't think we have to get anybody to agree to it. And that would be what I would submit to the commission, is that if you don't want to give them a downvote, make the change. Change it the way you want it, that complies with what the purpose of the zoning ordinance is. Protect the health, safety, and welfare and morals of the community, and lessen congestion in the streets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Falk.
Okay, how many more do we have? One more?
Yeah.
Okay, would you please come forward? State your name and
Good evening,
position.
Mayor, City Commissioners. My name is Malcolm H. Brown II, and I reside at 1134 West Tandy Road, right on the intersection of Tandy Road and Alton Glore. My family and I have moved to relocated back to Brownsville approximately 7 years ago. And when we purchased the property, it was an ideal place. Tandy Road being nice, quiet. Of course, over the years, the amount of traffic has increased, so has the number of residents in the area. We also seen over the years how the zoning has changed. What was once a single-family home dwelling has now gradually become commercial, immediately off of Alton Glore. I just wish to say, first of all, thank you for giving the opportunity to be here this evening and hearing my concerns. I also like to say that I know you're faced with many decisions, some that are very challenging, very difficult at times to make. And I just want to share also the fact that what all the other residents have mentioned, the fact that the young lady who wants to build the commercial daycare has overlooked the fact that during her peak hours, during her hours of employment, is when we are faced with the peak traffic on Tandy Road. And school buses are starting a lot earlier to run up and down Tandy Road, picking up children off of Tandy Road as well. Perhaps she may not have considered that, but peak traffic again will be before residents go to work and, of course, immediately after work. And that's my concern as well. I, too, am a father, and I have a child that participates in runs up and down Tandy Road, and I, too, jog up and down Tandy Road and walk our pet as well. But I just ask the entire city commissioners, mayor, to please, listen to our concerns, and I'm sure you will make a fair and impartial judgment. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Very much. Okay, can we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
We have a motion to close public hearing by Commissioner Cisneros.
Camarillo.
Camarillo.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Garza. All in favor to close? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Mayor, I'd like to make the motion to approve the daycare, yet strike the driveway from the application.
I second that motion.
Okay, for discussion.
And that it includes the guidelines that were stated by Ben and that were approved by P&Z.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Camarillo and second by Commissioner Garza. I believe that this road was not built for this kind of traffic, and I think we're putting people at jeopardy, especially children that maybe ride bicycles there. This is a country road, it's not a commercial road. But if that's the wishes of the commission, so be it. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed?
Nay, I just don't agree that we
Nay.
should be telling the business people exactly. I understand their concerns, but I also understand the business owners, so I'll vote nay.
So we have 2 nays, City Secretary? Okay.
So it passes? Yes.
Yes.
That was our vote. They voted to approve.
No, we approved it, but with striking.
No, what we just voted on was to approve the
Out of the
daycare,
daycare, but not-
excuse me,
Strike the driveway.
and omit the driveway.
Oh, okay.
Gets
well,
it
then-
with the driveway.
Okay,
You're a yay.
okay. No, I'm a yay then. I didn't understand the motion. Huh?
Now she gets it with the driveway, right?
No,
No.
Driveway.
this
The
is,
motion is without the driveway. Approve it without the driveway.
Because
Okay,
what-
but
that's
you,
what-
you need, Mayor, you need six positive votes. You know, there's the condition, which is acceptable to.
Well,
no-
then I will withdraw my nay and approve without the driveway.
Three vote.
Yeah.
Hold on. So what is she not getting the driveway?
She will not have a driveway on Tandy
The
Road.
driveway's
She
been
will not have a
omitted
Tandy,
from the
yeah.
from the plan.
she can have the daycare, but no driveway.
Correct.
Right.
But you need six positive votes, so I guess you need to call the vote again.
You got 6 here?
Mayor, are you for or against?
I am with approving it with the
The no
condition that
driveway.
there's no driveway,
Okay.
yes. Okay?
That's 6.
I'm gonna
Six, yeah.
go back with nay. I'm gonna back up
That's fine.
Commissioner Cisneros on that.
But, okay, but as long as you understand, Commissioner, that then there's, this
No
case is
project.
denied.
You need to speak a little louder.
Oh, then the whole case is denied?
The
That's
whole case is
correct.
denied.
She can't even put the daycare?
She has to come all over again.
Then I'll vote yay. And try to come out to
So we got
negotiate.
6
And
nays.
you have
No,
6
Yes.
approvals.
Yeah, to approve without the driveway.
That's right.
Correct.
she can have her daycare, but no driveway.
Okay. So you're gonna stay, right?
Oh, I voted yay.
Okay. So that's done then. Let's go to the next one.
Item number 7,
Can we move to item number 19, please?
okay.
No, let's get number 7 done, please.
Item number
Hold-
7,
hold
public
on,
hearing and
hold on real
action.
quick. Hold on. We have somebody that needs to go. He has a flight. Number
You're
19.
gonna be stuck here.
Huh?
Oh, they need to
What time's your
catch
flight?
a plane.
They need to fly out.
Okay, let's do then item number 9.
Item 19,
19, okay.
consideration and action to substitute Eric Pearson of Haygood Orr, Reyes, Pearson, and Bartolome as counsel of record in pending litigation styled Golden Spread versus City of Brownsville.
Mayor, I move to approve this.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Atkinson, second by Commissioner Longoria to approve.
Both contracts, as discussed
Troyani,
in
second.
Commissioner
executive
Troyani.
session.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Okay, item number 7.
Excuse me, Mayor, let me clarify that we're approving 2 contracts.
Yeah.
One of them is, we have on file, and the other will be submitted, but we've discussed the terms and conditions of the contract.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Based on the discussion we had. Item number 7, please.
Item number 7, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2008-1484 to adopt Robert's Rules of Order 10th edition to be used during meetings of the Brownsville City Commission as permitted by law.
Okay.
Don't have a problem with that. I make the motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Commissioner
Troyani.
Troyani. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item number 8.
Item number 8, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2008-795-E, amending ordinance number 2003-795-D by amending Chapter 102 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Brownsville, Texas, establishing uniform requirements for direct and indirect contributions into the wastewater collection and treatment system of the City of Brownsville, prohibiting certain general discharges, limiting specific pollutants, requiring protection from accidental discharges, providing for fees and charges, providing for wastewater contribution permits, providing reporting requirements, providing for inspection and sampling, providing confidentiality requirements, providing for enforcement procedures, amending sections 102-316 through 102-640 to conform with the provisions of Articles 6 and 7 as amended, repealing all ordinances inconsistent herewith, providing a severability clause, providing a penalty, and ordaining other matters incidental thereto.
City Secretary, I want to let you finish, but I think item 7 called for a public hearing, so let me
Okay, we need to
restate
go
the
back.
motion to close public hearing. Commissioner Triani, you seconded. All in favor, approved unanimously. Let's go back to approving
Item
the
number 7?
item.
Okay.
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Triani makes the motion to approve. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is that right? Nobody's against it. Okay, now, Item 8.
I just read
So
item
what you
number
just
8.
read, this is a public hearing. Do we have anybody here from PUB or anybody on this thing? Okay. This is a public hearing.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners. My name is Ramiro Capestran. I'm with Brownsville Public Utilities Board. That was a large title. Back in February 2004, we came with the same ordinance to comply with federal and state requirements. All we're doing is eliminating the molybdenum limit. It's unattainable for significant industrial users, and we would like to remove it. In this item, I attached the letter from the state with the proper steps to eliminate this, and one of the steps is coming to City Council and getting the approval. And again, all we're doing is eliminating or removing the molybdenum limit.
Removing what?
The molybdenum limit is a metal.
Okay, all this other stuff like, where is it? Requirements for direct and indirect contributions into, does that mean, does this give PUB the right to set fees or to raise fees?
It has nothing to do with fees. It's more if you have a wastewater treatment plant, it's required by EPA and TCQ to have a ordinance in place.
So why does it say provided for fees and
Well,
charges?
Oh, okay. There's a surcharge that we can impose, but the thing is that fee, it's with our rates. So this is not a fee nor a charge nor a rate. That fee that we charge is with our rates, our wastewater rates, our water rates.
So it's basically the cost of what it would do to remove that, correct?
Yes, exactly. And again, all we're doing again is just removing the molybdenum limit.
Move to close.
Okay, we have a motion to close by Commissioner Camarillo,
Second.
second by Commissioner Longoria. All in favor to close the public hearing? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Move
Can
to
we-
approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Camarillo, second by Commissioner Longoria. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 9, please.
Item number 9, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 235-2007-061 to rezone from dwelling Z to medium retail G, 5 acres out of Block 218 of Los Fresnos Land and Irrigation Company subdivision located near Paredes Line Road and north of FM 511.
Honorable Mayor and City Commission, this is the property shown in red here. Across the street over here is the National Battlefield Site. In this particular application, the applicant would like to build some offices on this track. The Planning and Zoning Commission were unanimously to approve this application to you.
Anybody here to
Okay,
oppose it?
This is a public hearing. Do we have anybody here opposing this?
Move to close.
One-
We have
I've got a
motion
couple
to-
questions.
Wait a
The,
second. You got to be recognized according to Robert's Rules of Order. Let's
fine.
start doing it now.
Let's try it then.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anybody opposed here? Okay, no? Okay, can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Camarillo to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Triani. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion to close passes unanimously. This is an action item.
Are we open for discussion?
Okay, one at a time.
I thought we
According
would.
to Robert's Rules of Order now, let's follow them. You got to be recognized. We have a Commissioner Longoria.
I believe
who's-
the moderator or the chair is supposed to be a facilitator of discussion. And should
Sir,
openly
first of
recognize-
all, if we're going to abide by Robert's Rules of Order that we all agreed to, please wait to be recognized. You can't talk at the same time. You just can't. And I don't have eyes in the back of my head or in the side of my head.
Or fast enough.
Or what?
Or fast enough.
Maybe fast enough, okay? It may be too slow for you, but it's fine for me, and it's fine for the audience. You will wait to be recognized. Now, I'm asking for a motion. Who's going to make the motion? Commissioner Camarillo.
No, I'd
Okay.
like to hear what Mr. Troani has to say.
No,
I
first you
also would like to
gotta
hear from
make
Mr.
the
Triani.
motion to have the discussion.
Well, I'd make the motion to have a
He already
discussion.
told
Okay.
you.
You have a
Second.
motion. According
Second
to
the
Robert's Rules of Order, there's got to be a motion, then we open it up to discussion. Okay, this way you don't have chaos.
Where's Tony
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Camarillo on the subject matter. Now, you want to have a discussion, you're welcome.
You have the authority, Mr. Mayor, to open it for discussion. You don't need a motion.
Yeah.
No, from what I understand, according to Robert's Rules of Order,
Be incorrect. And once the committee can discuss, and I've asked to be acknowledged. And so at this point, my question is, with the issue of the historical site, has there been a plan for the office that would be in conformity with the historical site?
Commissioner, at the P and Z meeting, which will come before you soon, is some design guidelines that developers, builders would have to adhere to. At this particular time, those are not in place yet, but we will work closely with the developer to make sure that the building complies with our proposed design guidelines and make sure that it's not, that the aesthetics goes along with what we're always trying to protect is a national battlefield site.
Okay, so that this time we don't have any
Have a set plan,
plans,
no.
and this is simply, he's asking to have it rezoned before we have any plans. Okay, so then at this time, unless there's any objection, I would move to table this issue until we have plans for the proposed site.
Second.
Okay, that sounds good.
okay, we have a motion.
And I believe we also have a second for Mr. Atkinson.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. To table this. Next item, please.
Item number 10, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 235-2007-0901 to rezone from light industrial J to dwelling G, all of the Greenway Terrace subdivision located near Old Alice Road and Los Ebanos Boulevard.
Honorable Mayor and City Commission, this is interesting. In this particular case, you have the expressway here, and this is a subdivision that has been in place since the early 60s. You know, you have Days Inn, you have different commercial properties, of course, facing the frontage road. But this particular case, it always has had industrial zoning, thanks to the diligence of Mr. Gomez, who lives in this subdivision, brought it to our attention, and we brought it to the Plan and Zoning Commission, and the city initiated down zoning to protect the neighborhood, to keep it residential. It has remained residential for many years, but you have that possibility of somebody buying property and building warehouses, for example. They have the zoning. So we are down zoning it. Plan and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to approve this application to you.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anybody in favor or against? If not, I'll ask the commission.
Motion to close.
We have one. Would you please come forward? Would you please come forward up here? And state your name and your position, please. This is a public hearing.
My name is Stella Hernandez. I've been a resident of that 4 Evergreen Lane, which is in Greenway subdivision, since 1963. It has always been considered a resident. This is the first time I hear anything about it being zoned commercial. All the houses in my area are residents, not businesses. There was one attempt to make a business, and they put an ugly building up there. They have never been able to do anything with it. All the other houses are residents. So I don't see any reason.
There's a
why we're
convenience
going to-
store.
But that's the way it is, so they're down zoning to dwellings, so that goes in favor of what you're supporting.
Yes.
Okay.
So Mayor and Commission.
Get to the mic because,
Mayor and Commission, the reason why it's remained resident is because they have real good deed restrictions. But as you know, Mayor,
They have
those
real good what?
expire.
they have real good what?
Deed restrictions, but if they're not renewed, they expire.
She's for it? You're for it?
For the down zoning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
I move to close the public hearing.
We'll follow the recommendation.
Second.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Atkinson, second by Commissioner Troyani to close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Move to approve.
Now, this is an action item. Call for a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Atkinson,
Second.
second by Commissioner Troyani. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11.
Item number 11, public hearing and action on resolution number 2008-003 to accept voluntary annexation request, establish study area for annexation, direct staff to prepare service plans, provide written notice to property owners, schedule public hearings, and publish notice in the local newspaper and on the official city internet website of public hearings regarding proposed annexations as required by section 43.021, 43.061, 43.062 of the Texas Local Government Code required by state law and dealing with related matters.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commission. Basically, this is requested annexation to follow with Texas State Government Local Code. Oh, and for the record, Christopher Golden, Comprehensive Planning Manager, City of Brownsville, obviously. On that land, there is a parcel which Valley Mud Number 2 is going to build a substation. And let me get the pointer here. There we go. There we go. Okay, sits within this area of the parcel. That substation is going to serve the Resaca de la Palma State Park over here. PUB has the closest electrical lines to service that site, and they would like to annex into the city in order to do that. But in order to do that, they would have to annex into the city. So basically what this item here is, to follow state local code, is to just accept the petition, accept the voluntary annexation petition, so that we can move forward to explore this possibility. So, and if you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Do we have anybody for or against? If not, can we have a motion
Move
to
to close.
close by Commissioner Longoria? Can I have a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner
Second.
Camarillo. All in favor to
Aye.
close? Aye. All opposed? Motion carry. This is an action item.
To approve.
Motion to approve. Can I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Camarillo seconds it. All in favor to approve? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. And if I could, we're actually going to pull item number 24, which is associated with this. It's just a redundancy. So we're going to table that.
So table 24?
We're going to table 24. It was connected to this. So it's just a redundancy.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Item number 12.
Item number 12, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2007-235.75 to update the city zoning ordinance by deleting from and adding 2 use districts.
Honorable Mayor, I know you're getting late. We can table this item, but not I'll go through it very quickly. This is just a clearing of our zoning ordinance. If you want to, I can continue.
You want to table it, you said?
If you wish, there's no rush on this item.
Yeah, I'll table, move to table it for our next
Second.
meeting.
Let me call for the, do we have to close the public hearing or not? Since it was already read.
You haven't opened the public hearing.
Okay. Okay, so then we have a motion to table. Okay, I'm sorry. Motion by Commissioner Atkinson, seconded by Commissioner Camarillo to table. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, please.
Item 13, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2008-933-NN, amending Article 4, Classification Plan, Section 11 through 71A, classes and positions of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by establishing new classes, positions, and numbers of employees in the fire and police departments of the City of Brownsville, dealing with other related matters, and declaring an effective date.
Mayor, members of the City Commission, good evening, and first of all, Happy New Year to all of you and your families. I am requesting to reclassify 2 existing police patrolman positions to police sergeant positions. The request for that is to be able to provide more effective and efficient service to the community. One of the positions for police sergeant would be to supervise the burglary investigation unit that currently consists of 7 investigators and 1 acting sergeant. The second position would be to classify a police patrolman position for 2 police sergeant to have the traffic enforcement and accident investigation unit more effectively supervised, and to be able to separate administrative and operational duties between 2 supervisors. This would not increase the number of positions in the police department. All it does, it takes 2 existing police patrolman positions and reclassifies them to police sergeant
The
positions.
pay changes or stays?
Yes, sir, there is a pay, the people that would get promoted would get an increase
Is it
according to
gonna
the
affect,
contract.
is it gonna affect
Budget.
the budget substantially or?
Very little, if any,
minimal?
sir.
Very minimal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The finance director?
Pete?
You're okay with this? Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anybody for or against this?
So move to close.
Second.
Let me call for the motion. Okay, do we have a motion to close public hearing?
Yes, sir.
Motion to close.
Already did it.
Okay, motion
I
by
second.
Commissioner Troyani. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Camarillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
No, I voted for yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out of order.
Motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Troyani, second by Commissioner Camarillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Item number 14.
Item number 14, consideration and action on resolution number 2007-073 to authorize a moratorium on the issuance of building permits to be used for the construction of businesses designated to operate eight-liners and/or similar types of gaming devices.
Thank you.
Mayor, moved. Let me recognize.
But let's hear from the city attorney.
Mayor, members of the City Commission, I had initially intended to try to do a workshop to go over this in some detail, but since the last direction that we got from the City Commission, which was to consider whether or not a moratorium would be advisable, done some additional research and talked to Texas Municipal League. This is the ordinance which they feel like is the best one that addresses these problems that other communities have faced along with ours. It is not a moratorium, but it would significantly restrict the opening of new businesses of that sort. I'd like to just go over it with you real quickly, and if this is something that the commission likes, then I can come back to the following with a complete ordinance for your approval. But the idea is that they have incorporated into their ordinance, beginning on the next to last paragraph on page 1, would be that this ordinance would apply to any type of amusement center or gaming facility if at least 25% of the public floor area is devoted to coin-operated machines. That would apply to new pool halls, new video arcades, including the eight-liners. On the following page, in the second or the first complete sentence, it goes on to say that it would expressly include pinball, football, coin-operated pool tables, other coin-operated machines, which involve skill or pleasure to play them. The one big difference that other cities, in the ordinance adopted by other cities in this area, has been that they have assessed an occupation tax, and they've just tied that to the amount of the state tax. In this case, if we were to adopt an ordinance, then persons who owned the machines would be subject to an annual occupation tax equal to 1/2 the amount levied by the state. And because the state amount varies, then the recommended wording was to just tie ours to the state, so it'd be 1/2 of whatever amount is currently being charged by the state. And I don't actually know the amount that's currently being charged. The occupation tax would be levied on the owner of the coin-operated machines or pool or billiard tables, and they would be responsible for paying the occupation tax on a per-machine basis. The occupation tax would be paid directly to the city secretary, and who would issue a occupation tax receipt. There's a provision later in the ordinance that deals with people who don't comply with that and who do not pay the occupational tax.
City Attorney, let me ask you, the occupation tax, I don't have my glasses, so can you tell me if is there a fee there for the occupation tax in it or not?
It would be, they would pay on a per-machine basis half of the amount that's charged by the state of Texas for an occupational tax.
Okay.
And I don't know what amount the state is currently charging. It changes from time to time. But the idea of the drafting the ordinance would be to tie it to the state amount because they assess that.
Can we make it equal to the state?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that would prohibit us from doing that.
Okay.
This is just sort of what was given to us as a kind of a template to follow. But no, there would not be a reason that we're in addition to, in this ordinance, proposing to charge a fee, which if you'll read ahead there, it talks about if you wanted to come back and assess a higher tax, then you could do that as well. If you'll let me go through it in order, it'll answer some of these questions and show you at least how this legislative model was created and what they had in mind. So there would be an occupation tax for each machine that would be paid directly to the city secretary. Then rules involving the actual operation of the equipment, and this is on the third full page under Roman numeral 4. Item A, it talks about how the machines cannot be left unattended. There has to be someone there that's responsible for the machines and for the premises at all time. If a new building is built and is permitted and is allowed to go in, it would have to be situated, as it states in item B, so that all the machines would be in full, open, and public view. In other words, they'd have to be windows or openings that would allow the machines and the operation to be seen from outside the building. As we'll get to, that would not apply to existing buildings unless they were to try to expand or to seek an additional building permit for whatever reason. They would be grandfathered and would be allowed to stay as they are. It goes on in item C to say that if the amusement machines are in a recreation center, for example, I know there's some at the Cinemark Theater, then those cannot be open to the outside. There wouldn't be windows or doors making them visible from outside the premises, but they have to remain visible and open from the inside, so they can't be partitioned off or hidden from the inside of the building that they're operating in. Hours of operation in this ordinance were limited on weekdays to that they could not operate between midnight and 7 a.m. In other words, there would be a mandatory curfew or time limit that they would have to close on weeknights at 12 midnight and could not reopen until 7 a.m. As it points out in the last part of Roman numeral 6, that on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays, they would be allowed to operate until 2 a.m. They couldn't reopen until 7 a.m. Sundays, in this ordinance, the operation was limited to from 1 p.m. to 12 a.m., 12 midnight. So there'd be a mandatory time limit or curfew that they would have to close on Monday through Thursday, and on Sunday nights at 12 o'clock. Friday and Saturday nights, they'd be permitted to operate until 2 o'clock in the morning. It would be prohibited, as it points out in item 7, for anyone below the age of 18 to play or to game or operate any of the machines inside the business, and there'd be a mandatory posting of a sign which stated that minors under the age of 18 years were not allowed during school hours. And it would be a violation of the ordinance if they did not have that sign present. As I mentioned, there is a penalty for failure to pay the occupation tax. If the occupation tax was not paid, the police department would have the authority to actually seal the machine or prohibit it from being used. And that for them, once they had paid the occupation tax, they would have to pay an additional $10 fee to release the equipment for use again. If anyone broke the seal or in any way violated the seal that was placed there by the police department, then that would be a Class C misdemeanor, and under this ordinance would be subject to a fine of up to $1,000. The city would designate or appoint an authorized representative to make periodic inspection of the premises and of the machines that were operating there, and to ensure that they remained in compliance. In addition to the occupation tax, there would also be a license required. The way it was done in this model is that the license would be required of any operator and have to be renewed annually, depending on the number of machines that were operating, as it points out in item 11 under fee. For a license to operate up to 50 machines, there would be a $100 fee assessed by the city, and it would be payable to the city secretary. For facilities that wanted to operate between 51 and 200 machines, there would be a $200 fee. Over 200 machines would be a fee of $250. That would be in addition to the occupation tax, which would be collected again, from each individual machine. In addition, this model ordinance has much stricter zoning requirements. Our existing ordinance prohibits these businesses from locating within 200 feet of a school or church or residence. In this model ordinance, that distance is increased to 1,000 feet in a direct line from any public entrance to the nearest property line of a church, residence, school, or other business entities operating under a similar license. In other words, another amusement center. There would be sale of alcoholic beverages would be strictly prohibited. That would be a basis for revoking their license, or in fact, if, as we'll see in down the sheet here, anyone found to be intoxicated on the premises would also be considered grounds to revoke their license to operate. The license would be issued, as I said, annually. It would have to be renewed annually, and it would be non-transferable. The license would have to be displayed at all times. As I indicated in item 16, there are provisions whereby the City Commission can revoke the license of an operator. This would include for violations of any kind of this ordinance, for knowingly permitting the sale, use, or consumption of alcohol, for exceeding their prescribed hours of operation, for knowingly to permit the presence on the premises of a person who was intoxicated or under the influence of intoxicating liquor, permitting disorderly conduct, or what's referred to here as immoral practices on the premises, for knowingly permitting the violation of the laws of the state or of this ordinance or any ordinance within the city. In addition, there's a minimum lighting requirement to maintain a certain degree of illumination within the building itself. Additionally, if this ordinance was not enforced with respect to minors being present, that would be an additional means or basis for revocation of their license that they'd been issued.
Jim, this is just for discussion, correct?
Yes, sir, that's all.
The city of Sampson, what's their population?
It's a real small city. It's about 800 people.
This is extreme. I mean, billiards and things like that, you know, closing hours. I mean, it didn't make sense. You'll kill business here with this type of ordinance. So that's why I asked.
Well, and again, the consideration had been of a moratorium and legal authorities.
You have it as action, right?
Okay, let's let him finish and then let's recognize
This was tabled
ourselves.
the initial consideration, I think by someone on the commission, I don't remember, Commissioner Atkinson, who had considered whether or not we could enact a moratorium. That item was tabled. And so the same item was placed back on the agenda, and that's how it's worded. But in addressing the legal issues concerning the moratorium, this came up as a possible alternative, and so I'm presenting it, as Commissioner Camarillo said, just purely for your review and for you to give us, myself, planning further instructions, and we will come back to you with either a finalized ordinance or whatever, after hearing this, you would like for us to do.
Let me ask you something.
What do you say? Let's continue with this thing, or ask to be recognized.
All right, can I be recognized?
Commissioner Atkinson, please, go ahead.
Jim, let me ask you something. With the way this ordinance is, maybe I'm getting it wrong, or I kind of feel like Camarillo here, is that we're talking about billiard rooms, we're talking about pool tables, we're talking about everything? Or, I mean, because you put here 8-liners and or similar types of gaming devices. But then right here, when I read in here, I see billiards and
Pinball machines.
pinball machines.
That's
I
why
mean,
I
are
think
we
the
really
ordinance-
gonna,
That's not what we're trying to do, I think.
I don't think that was our intention to,
Well,
I know you're just bringing this forward to let us know, but,
We're gonna put it as a public hearing so we could hear from the public and see what their take was on it too.
As I say, this is the item that was tabled, and so we're bringing that item back. We can,
But again, Jim, you're just introducing an ordinance that you researched as part of discussion, because what's to be voted on is the moratorium. That's the action item.
the reason that I'm not presenting an ordinance establishing a moratorium is that all the legal authorities in this area agree that that's at best a stopgap measure. As has been discussed, you can't discriminate against one type of business excessively. And in fact, that's why this is addressed to all coin-operated businesses, because it's, in the eyes of the legislator, those, to the extent that they're operating legally, then they're permissible. So that's the balance we have to strike as a governing body, is restricting individuals' rights to operate a legal business in distinction of other types of similar businesses that are not similarly restricted. So that's the balancing test that we all have to do in order to further restrict these, and this is what Texas Municipal League felt like was the best effort they'd seen in trying to establish some kind of a balance. That doesn't mean you have to adopt it, but
Okay, listen, gentlemen, and I appreciate you all passing Robert's Rules of Order. I'm gonna let everything slide tonight, but I suggest that we all go back, because it's all new to us, and read Robert's Rules of Order. Let me finish. And I expect you to get well-versed on it, because you're gonna keep this commission in check on the Robert's Rules of Order. We're only allowed to speak twice on the matter. There's supposed to be, according to what I understand, there's supposed to be a motion on the table before we open a discussion. This is not a public hearing. But for tonight, let's suspend it, and let's just do the best we can. You want to ask questions, but after tonight, you will ask to be recognized, and you will be allowed only to speak twice, up to 10 minutes on the subject matter.
I need to make a comment.
Mayor, but I guess the one that's going to interpret it is going to be Jim, right? Because it's not
Well,
going to be
no,
yourself
no,
interpreting the
Robert's Rules of Orders are not interpreted. They're very specific
They're
on the
specific.
procedure, parliamentary procedure. But I want him, because
tend to see
we're
things
gonna
a certain
have
way.
disagreements here on Robert's Rules of Order. He's supposed to be well-versed to make sure,
That's who we expect
as a
to be well-versed.
parliamentarian, okay? That's what I wanna do, okay?
And I-
So,
and
but
I
for
would-
tonight, let's suspend it.
I need to make,
Okay.
there's no suspending. It was done on a
First
first
reading.
hearing, first reading. When it gets approved after a second reading, then it'll take into effect, but
Okay.
we've only had a first
Very well
reading.
pointed, very well pointed, okay.
And I would offer, Mayor, if I may, to, along with whoever else, to present a workshop, because that's about 180 pages of pretty technical procedural rules, and I think you're right in the ones that you've referred to. But I think we all should probably study, because it'll mean operating considerably differently than we have. And there's, like you
It's gonna be a quite a different change here, and I'm willing to do it. Y'all want to do it, I'm willing to do it, okay?
But I
But for
think-
tonight, let's, okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it'd be helpful for us all to review them in depth before we
They're
try
not
to
in
follow
effect
them.
yet.
Yeah.
okay.
But I'll offer to bring some sort of a workshop when we come back the next time. But in the meantime, that's the explanation, Mayor, for why I chose this, is because in any event, if we issue a moratorium, we will be back in a relatively short period of time to try to readdress the issue. The moratoriums just cannot be left indefinitely. It's restricting.
I am for approving this. I think you did a good job, okay? Based on that, I'll make the motion to approve.
Mayor, but let me ask you, what are you approving? Are you approving the resolution or are you approving the ordinance? Again, Jim, I just want to go on record saying that this is not part of what's being voted on, correct? This is just brought, you just brought this up.
This was the item that was tabled, and my effort to try to explain that item and to offer you all more material so that you could make a determination.
Hold on, let's just see if he gets a second.
Okay, well, if it dies for a second, like a second, I make the motion to approve. Do we have a motion and a second? Okay. It
If it
dies
ha-
for lack of a second.
Move to table.
Second.
So it just died. There's no need to table it.
No, your motion died.
Yeah.
Okay,
I made the motion to table.
And
we have a
second.
motion to table. We have a second by Commissioner Camarillo.
No,
I mean,
Commissioner
a motion by
Camarillo,
Commissioner
motion, I
Camarillo,
second.
second by Commissioner Cisneros. All in favor?
Aye.
That's a moratorium. What are we tabling?
Aye. All opposed? To table, okay. Next item, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you might consider, if we're gonna have a workshop on this or something like that, you might consider getting the police chief involved in this, okay?
And I'll speak to you individually, but you tell us if you want us to bring it back in a different form or whatever for the next meeting, we'd be happy to do that as well.
But we must do something to address it.
We're tabling a moratorium on,
Pardon me?
we're tabling a moratorium on, so we can
The issue
bring this
dies.
back?
The issue dies for lack
so
of a
really,
second.
you don't even need to table it, as far as I'm concerned.
And we'll bring it back in whatever form the individual commissioners want us to.
By the way, we already collect stamps on billiard machines. We charge for billiard machines, a fee.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
For the billiard machines, we already charge a fee and a stamp. Any billiard machine.
Yeah, but it says to put a moratorium on the issuance of more billiards. I mean, there just needs to be more clarification on all this.
The moratorium.
There was no
the
motion to
moratorium-
approve, so he just dies.
The moratorium is on the eight-liners, not billiard machines.
But again,
No, he said you cannot discriminate.
the moratorium on one industry like that is problematical. I mean, it would be a temporary stopgap measure. If challenged, we would
I
not.
mean, he's saying everything, not just the
Gaming
eight-liners.
devices.
Well, that's what this is
Yeah, I know, no, you're
effort to
right.
do, is to
But-
police it. Each person That similar type of.
But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there was a motion to approve, it was not seconded, it died. There was no motion to approve, so really, there's nothing to do unless somebody wants to bring it back
we can table the action, 'cause if we wanna bring
Commissioner,
agendas and action
Commissioner, would you be kind enough to let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So if the commission wishes to have this brought back, maybe we should consider a workshop, include the police chief. If there's nothing to be done, well, then there's nothing to be done because there was, you know, no support for it.
But not bring back excuse me, Mayor, not bring back a moratorium, bring back a discussion on this issue.
However you want it. That's what I'm saying. This item, just the fact that there was not a motion to approve, it just fails. Makes no difference. Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jim.
Okay, next item, please.
Item 15, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-001, urging a moratorium on home foreclosures and congressional enactment of a Homeowners and Bank Protection Act.
We're seeing home foreclosures on the rise, and I would like to pass this resolution to express our concerns, and perhaps the legislation can be passed to address these concerns that will affect the city of Brownsville tremendously if these foreclosures continue, and it'll hurt the market for development here, and it'll displace a lot of people that are affected because of the continued rise in fuel, for instance, that they can't make their mortgage payments because when they first got into their home, it was made so easy with hardly any money down, and for 25, 30 years, and now they're finding to have a difficult time to trying to make those mortgage payments. Perhaps they can extend the life of the note to where the payment could be reduced to where it'll keep families intact and keep them in their homes and still allow them to pay back at fair market value. Based on that, I'm asking this commission to approve this resolution, to support it, and it's in your packet there.
I would approve.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Longoria, second by Commissioner Cisneros. All in favor? Certainly, Commissioner.
Just since it's your motion, Mayor. I mean, basically,
No, I didn't make the motion. You made the motion.
What?
I just brought the issue.
The resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who prepared the resolution?
It's okay.
You prepared the resolution, correct?
No, I had the city attorney prepared.
Okay. And simply, you're saying that this is simply our policy or our hope for our elected officials in Washington that they would pass some legislation, because obviously we recognize that we don't have the legislative authority to do any of this. It's simply, this is your wish that, and I would agree with you, that we don't want to see more foreclosures in our community, but obviously, as a legislative body, we don't have the authority to enact or empower or stop foreclosures.
Well, we're not enacting anything. We're just asking that legislation be considered to address these concerns. It's a huge concern.
Oh, I agree. It's a major concern, especially with some of the predatory lending practices, some of the other problems that we've had in the community with, home foreclosures, home lending, substandard building, et cetera. All of those things are major, but they're outside our scope, at least at this point. But we can take a position, and I agree with the position.
Okay, so then you can vote for it if you like.
I was just curious.
We have a motion. Does anybody have anything else to add? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please.
Item 6, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-009, supporting a veterans hospital in Brownsville, Texas.
Okay, it's self-explanatory. I think this issue has been the front.
Move to
burner
approve.
For a long term. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Atkinson, second by motion by Commissioner Triani, second by Commissioner Atkinson. All in favor? Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Motion
One
carries.
quick question on the resolution. It doesn't seem very wordy. Is there anything else that's going to go attached to this? Or is this part of something else we passed a while ago?
Just to support. If you want to add something to it, you're welcome to.
No, I just asked. I thought it was pretty short, but
No, this is the time, we just want to show support for it. Okay, item 17.
Item 17, consideration and action to coordinate with the town of South Padre Island on the restoration of sand dunes by conducting a citywide Christmas tree curbside pickup.
Mayor, Commissioners, I put this on the agenda because I had talked to our city manager and asked him if we could maybe coordinate and talk to the city manager over in South Padre Island. I drive around after Christmas, all these people, residents, Brownsville put out their Christmas trees. I think it's real important that we coordinate a citywide Christmas tree pickup, and maybe coordinate with the South Padre Island for the sand dune restoration.
And I think that's commendable, Commissioner Cisneros, but I think we should also include our Boca Chica Beach, if it's possible.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The main thing is to help the residents out, especially
That's
after
right.
Christmas. If they take their Christmas trees over to our landfill, they're charged a fee, and I think we ought to save
Can
the
that be done,
residents that
City
money.
Manager, without a heavy burden on us financially?
If you take action for me to do it, I have to.
Pardon me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Cisneros. Do we have a second by Commissioner who?
Second.
Camarillo. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, motion
Aye.
carries. Item 18, please.
Item 18, consideration and action regarding resolution number 2008-010 to institute public service applications for all appointees to a municipal board, commission, or committee designed to provide city commissioners with information regarding applicants or appointees prior to voting on appointees and to create a pool of qualified applicants from which to select future appointees.
Okay.
If I may, Your Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I propose this in order to give us a little bit more insight into who the applicants are. A lot of times when we're coming up here to vote on appointees, people will simply say, you know, I nominate this person. We have no background information on them. I know a number of communities have application processes that are on their websites, such as San Antonio, and I would move that we approve this to give us a little bit more transparency. We'll have an opportunity to look at some of the applicants and some of the committee and board members' information before voting on them, and I just think it gives a little bit more openness to government.
I'll second that, Mayor.
I
think we have a second.
I think this should be voluntary. If people want to submit applications or are interested in serving, that'd be great. I think it should be based on majority vote. You may come up with somebody that you don't have an application, but you think is worthy of serving. But you know, if that's the wishes of the commission, that's fine. This is applicable to the commission appointments. So right now, you know, you have the majority, and that's the policy you want to introduce, and you're welcome to do it.
Just to the commission and
No, this would be to any committee or board that anyone would want to serve on. And essentially what it is if you got online or they came down to the city hall, they could get the application, put in their information, and they would go into a pool. Now, we as city commission would vote on these people. If you have...
Commission appointments.
It's just commission appointments or mayor appointments too?
It would be anyone who would have, anyone...
But if they're mayor appointments, the commission cannot vote.
Any person who's going to serve on a committee, board, or commission for the city would have to fill out the application, and it's a 2-page document. It's attached here. It complies with the ethics of the advisory commission, and it's simply an attestation that no one has any business with the city, that no one is going to profit from the city, and that they are residents of Brownsville, that they can vote within Brownsville. It's a very simple application. It's very similar to the one from San Antonio and Castroville. Those are other communities here in South Texas which have application processes. And I think this is something that would give a little transparency to who is actually serving, and it would encourage others in the community to serve, because anyone, frankly, could get online or come down and fill out the application and go into this pool.
Okay. This is on appointments that come before the commission.
This would be appointments for anyone at the city level.
Is the mayoral appointment subject to that?
I believe so. If Mr. Goza would care to comment.
You could make it that way, Mayor. I mean, I think the proposal is that anyone who is appointed by anyone for anything in relation to the city would have an application on file with the city. So as a policy matter, you could require everyone who serves in the city or under the direction of the city commission to have an application form on file.
Okay.
It wouldn't affect and as you said, if it was a mayoral appointment, it would remain a mayoral appointment, but they would be required to have an application.
Okay, so the application, that's it, okay, okay. We have,
I mean, if
Any
there's
other
any, and
discussion?
if there's any question as to the clarity of the ordinance,
They're gonna have to send it to.
it's not an ordinance, it's a policy.
well, actually, I think that we had a
Resolution.
resolution.
It's a solution, okay. They have to fill an application. Those that come before the commission where you will vote on them, those that are mayoral, I can still make, the mayoral appointments can still be made.
They'd simply have to fill out the
They just
application.
have to fill out the application. Now, a lot of this is taken care of at the swearing in anyway, that they don't have any interest. I mean, it's already there. It's part of the process already as it is right now.
That's
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, we have to be sure that, you know, that we're following state law with respect to consanguinity and the other
Well,
things.
you're asked to do that when you
Yes, sir.
swear.
They have to fill out
Yeah.
affidavit.
And that you have no conflict and you have no vested interest. You're asked to do that when you swear, you're sworn in.
Take
Okay.
an oath of office.
Okay, we have a motion? Do we have a motion, Commissioner?
I think it's already been seconded.
Yeah.
I think this is simply the debate portion under
Okay.
the new procedure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 19, consideration and action to, I'm sorry. Item 20, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-002, reaccepting, reviewing, amending, and readopting all of the provisions listed in the documents titled City of Brownsville, Texas Amended Investment Policy and City of Brownsville, Texas Amended Investment Strategy Statement.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, way back in 1996, the City Commission approved the investment and investment strategy policy for the city in accordance to the Public Investment Act that was passed at that time. The policy, one of the things that the policy states is that we review our policy on an annual basis, and if there's any changes, that we bring it back before you so that we can amend the policy. Every year, we've done this for this will be our 10th year, and the reason why we bring it to you is because we add new funds, new accounts on an annual basis, and so we are bringing it to you so that you can, again, approve this resolution.
Okay. It's an action item.
Move to approve.
Second.
Move to approve by Commissioner Longoria, second by Commissioner Troyani. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 21.
Item 21, consideration and action to adopt budget amendment resolution number 2008-005 to amend the general fund by $675,000, which includes $40,000 for medical equipment and supplies for the animal shelter clinic, $500,000 for street paving contracting, $50,000 for downtown development consulting, and $85,000 for the Valley International Country Club drainage project.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, the schedule that's there indicates what was read, $40,000 for the animal shelter clinic medical supplies. We've also are allocating $500,000 for street paving contracting, $50,000 for the downtown development consulting, and $85,000 for the VICC drainage project.
Pete,
The,
just for, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just for clarification, could you go back one? On the animal shelter, clinic, medical supplies, that's for the spay and neuter program, right?
Yeah, this is for the clinic. This is for supplies, equipment that was approved in the previous meeting that we needed to allocate funds for.
You've approved that action, we need you to approve
Just the budget amendment.
And could you just revisit very quickly, if you have it in your notes, on the VICC drainage project?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, because we already had some upgrades done there.
Yeah, I think our city engineer can
We
address.
are working to improve drainage in that specific area due to the fact that we expect Lowe's and other stores to build there by Alton 802, where Taco Bell is and all that. And we must have drainage. It's being called VICC Drainage Project because it's in the vicinity of the VICC.
Okay.
But
that's a
But not
city's-
specifically VICC, because we had already done some
no,
work
it's
there.
gonna help, it's gonna
upgrade the
alleviate
system.
drainage in that
Around the
area to allow
Okay.
Lowe's and those people to comfort level to eventually.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't doing double work, because I know that we took the time to go out there and get some, the drainage fixed specifically for the VICC
Well,
area.
that's already been.
Okay, that's been done.
That's already been financed and
no-
paid for.
This particular schedule tells us more or less how much money we're going to have in the fund balance after this budget amendments. The beginning fund balance, which is the balance at October 1st, which is considered still unaudited, did change from the last presentation we made to you by about $130,000. It went down, so it's 17,191,918. The revenue so far budgeted are 83 million, so we have available of 100 million, and we have in the budget, with this particular budget amendment for tonight of 675,000, we have 89,117 in expenditures, which will have, again, this is all estimates, fund balance of 11.1 million, or about 12.46% in reserves. One item that I'd like to point out here from, I know that this is something that has been reported. The revenues that we had last year versus budget, we exceeded budget by $766,000, which is very good based on the numbers there of almost 80 million. The reason why we gained a considerable amount on our fund balance is because we did not spend what was budgeted. We had a favorable rate of $6 million, and that's on the expense side, not on the revenue side.
So in essence, there is no deficit in the city.
No, there is no deficit.
Okay, because there was claims that we were in a deficit, and I know that when property values went up 15%, we had to lower. You know, in fear of maybe a rollback, we maintained. So therefore, the city right now isn't in any.
That's correct, Commissioner. When we lowered the tax rate from 68 cents to 65 cents, and the reason why it was lowered is because at that time we had a tremendous growth in property values of about 15%, and the law requires us to adjust the rate. If you have a huge increase in valuations, the effective rate obviously comes down. And the effective rate, or actually we approved the rollback rate that year of 65 cents. Had we gone above the 65 cents, then we would stand the chance of maybe the citizens would have a protest and have a referendum and have our tax rate even brought backwards rather, lowered rather. But no, we ended the year with a almost 17.2 million in fund. Again, this is not an audited number.
Okay, Mayor, because you made some comments in the newspaper that we had a deficit, so I
Let me
guess
tell you
Mr.
something.
Gonzalez
The budget
clarified that we
started out with
didn't.
a deficit. If you went by the percentage that you were shooting for on the fund balance, and cutting the 3 cents prematurely when it was not budget time, that was loss of cash that could have been used to buy fire equipment, for one, okay? That we lost.
No, Mayor, we were doing very well, and we were able to give everybody a
You didn't-
break.
you mentioned
So-
out there that
That's
you
fine.
inherited.
You're
You
you're
didn't-
actually spinning things, that's not a trick.
I'd move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Atkinson. Do we have a second?
Second.
I
We have
second
a
it.
second by Commissioner Camarillo. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 22, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-006, expressing official intent to reimburse the tax-exempt obligation proceeds for costs incurred to make street, sidewalk, and drainage improvements and acquire equipment for the Public Works Department.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, in November 2001, the citizens voted for some of the street improvements. We have currently $5,210,000 of the $35 million that was authorized by the voters in 2001 that has not been issued. This particular reimbursement resolution allows us, what this does is allows the engineering department and public works department to begin spending some of these monies now, if this resolution gets approved, with the understanding that the city will issue the GO bonds in the near future, and the general fund, since the general fund is going to be advancing the money, the general fund will be able to get reimbursed from the bond proceeds. Along with that, we're also requesting, and city manager and Public Works, for us to issue, these are certificates of obligation for street construction and public works equipment, about $10 million, for a total of $15 million to 10. Next meeting, we will have, if this is approved, we'll have a plan of finance that will be presented to you regarding what impact this particular debt will have on our debt service tax rate.
Move to approve.
Second. Second.
Aye.
Item 23, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-077 to authorize the purchase of certain real property described as Lot 6, Block 305 of El Jardín re-subdivision, shares 29, 30, and 31 of Espiritu Santo grant, and designating signatories for the city of Brownsville.
Mayor, members of the City Commission, we're asking your permission to, through the passage of this resolution, to make an offer to purchase this property for carrying out the city's Part 150 program. Be more than happy to address any questions you have on it. Staff recommends approval.
This is what we discussed in executive session, correct?
That is correct.
Move to approve.
Second. Comes over here.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 24,
No. I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because he talked about it earlier.
right. You're correct.
So
Should
moved.
table.
Second.
Second.
I did.
Aye.
Item 25, consideration and action on resolution number 2008-008, creating an oversight committee to address outstanding housing monitoring findings and to report to the City Commission with its findings and recommendations on investments in housing programs for October 1, 2007 to September 30th, 2008.
Honorable Mayor, City Commission, this item was discussed at the last City Commission meeting. We prepared the resolution as we requested. It's an opportune time for this committee to be developed as we begin the planning process for a new fiscal year regarding HUD funding, and it would expedite the process for clearing out our findings before we submit our annual application in May. Staff recommends approval. There's 3 people, and they're mentioned in the resolution. There's 3 people, and they're mentioned in the resolution.
Who are they?
Commissioner
Myself.
Triani, Commissioner Longoria, and Commissioner Cisneros. And this was based on their interest at the last meeting. I mean, you would like to serve, Commissioner, there's no limit. I just,
Sure. Add me on there.
yes, Mayor, yes.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Item 26, consideration and action regarding a memorandum of agreement between the City of Brownsville and the Brownsville River Rockets to help patrol bike trails and to seek assistance from private businesses in and adopt a portion of the trail campaign in an effort to find private funding for landscaping and improvements to a portion of the hike and bike trail along the linear park from businesses that are along the trail.
Motion to approve. We can talk about it after we have the motion. I'm moving to approve. I thought we were kind of practicing.
Second.
And when I'm not up here practicing.
They have, Mayor. We had a meeting this afternoon, and we talked about the River Rockers. We talked about the resolution. They're in full support of it, but one of my questions was to ask if Skip, if he'll be involved, and at the Parks Committee. That way, everybody's just aware of what's going on. And I think we need to coordinate efforts between all groups.
What?
We talked about it. They're aware.
That's fine.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner
Second.
Triani.
Second.
Commissioner Troyani.
Troyani.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 29, consideration and action to award a contract for the purchase and delivery of one new truck-mounted 99-inch tree transplanter for the Brownsville Public Works Department.
Move to approve.
Second. Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Come on, Ben. Good job.
That was easy.
Discussion items, item number 30, impact fee update.
Been with a consultant, the CIP. Hopefully by March, April, we will be coming back to the commission, the kayak, to present some findings and then to set up the meetings for possible adoption of an update to the impact fee. So it's still a 10-year plan. Yes, Mayor, and the only way to expedite that is if the kayak would go back to a 5-year plan and maybe utilize some of massaging that data that we've had. But right now, it's for detailed plans on how to finance, design, and construct, operate, and maintain I-69. Summarizing, and there's some extensive notes that I had prepared, and this will be available in our website, in the Plan Department website, and also in the city webpage. But just to summarize them, is that these two consulting firms will be submitting proposals to TxDOT, but more importantly, TxDOT will be having town hall meetings and 46 public hearings through the corridor, proposed corridor. The first one, and this will also be on our website, and I'll put it in the Channel 12. The first town hall meeting at 6:30 p.m., the one closest to us is January 31st, South Texas College, Building G in Weslaco. And then there will be a public hearing February the 4th in Brownsville. And this is to basically what TxDOT is doing is giving back to the local communities to develop and identify where I-69 corridor should be in the local community. So the county will be involved, or MPO, yourself.